Health Chats, and I'm very, very excited to have Becky Newman with us today. Hello, Becky. How are you?
Hi, Claire. Hi. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Are you good?
I'm very well, thank you, and thank you for being here with us. What we're talking about today is psychological safety, and Becky is specifically going to look at ways to boost team motivation through psychological safety. Very, very key. So first of all, before we start, whereabouts are you located, Becky?
So I'm in Whitstable in Kent.
Oh, lovely. And tell us about your experience.
Okay, so my experience. So before I went into recruitment, well, fell into recruitment, I suppose. But my background was in. So I did my degree after I had a couple of children. So I had children very young when I was 19, and did my degree when I was 22, and then moved into kind of project management within tech industry and account management. So always working with people, which was part of the role which I really loved and enjoyed. And then when I had my youngest, I ended up working for a recruitment company, and then from there decided to open up my own recruitment business and do what I loved, and that's what working with people, improving companies with good members of staff. And here I am, kind of 8 years later, still doing it.
And that's why I've asked you, because you've worked with a lot of different people in the recruitment sector. And hats off to you having your children first and then doing your degree. That must have been really hard.
Yeah, it was. I think when you're younger, you just kind of get on with it, and
Yeah.
you do what you have to do. Yeah, had two children, but probably had more energy then. just
Yeah.
kind of
I
just
know
did
what you
it.
mean.
I'm not sure if I'd have been able to go back and study now. So
I
yeah.
know exactly what you mean. So psychological safety when we're dealing with people, especially in recruitment and placing people, is so, so important. So can you explain to everyone what the significance is of psychological safety?
Yeah, I suppose it's so important for a member of your staff to feel safe within the environment, and that can come all the way through from candidates even identifying that at the early stage of recruitment. So even if you do your recruitment in-house or outsource it, it's those small things that really make a huge difference. You don't always, when I'm recruiting with someone, don't always know their culture inside out, because I'm not there every day recruiting for
Yes.
them, working for them. But it's important from that early stage of me getting to know them, understanding what's their culture like, and having employers knowing that even at that early stage that they're having maybe their teams involved in the recruitment process, because yes, it's an apprehensive time for the employer to recruit because they want to get the right person, but it's also the candidate. They might be leaving a job that they're safe in, so they're moving to another job that they need to know that they're going to be going to an environment that they're going to enjoy, because it's people move jobs not for short term. They want to move into a job and it be a long term investment. And so even having even at the interview stage, making sure that they get across to the candidate what their culture's like, meeting other members of staff, understanding the teams and what they offer from a company's point of view.
Mm, definitely. That is so, so important. You've just bringing back memories of all the coaching that I do on positive intelligence with my clients. And what I've found with this coaching is that it opens up an honest environment, which is actually so, so key for people to feel psychologically safe. So I'd just like to hear from you, Becky, what management techniques can actually be used to create an open and honest environment to create psychological safety?
Yeah, I think it's we're doing it every day, with our teams, and allowing that open dialogue, being that safe place, whether there's somebody in
Yeah.
your business who lots of teams are having health and safety or mental health
Yeah.
practitioners within the workplace, which you can go and get trained up, and allowing that to be a safe place for people to come to, and
Yeah.
having been able to communicate allows lots of things to be nipped in the bud. Something that someone might be worried about, actually once discussed, may not be a huge problem, but in
Yeah.
somebody's head something can be really escalating, but actually if you have somebody that you can go to, you can talk to, it allows them to get it off their chest, and some small changes within the workplace can have a huge impact. But you know, it goes through, there's, you know, lots of different things that employers can perhaps do to help that all the way through the recruitment process. Even when you look at the start of somebody joining, have they got a proper job description? Do they understand exactly what they're coming in to do? You know, does the team understand what this person's coming in to do? Has the team been involved within this recruitment process? And have they, you know, members of staff can be in teams apprehensive about someone starting, and you get it all the time. You know, someone's coming in and, oh, are they going to be taking my job, or are they going to be this and that? But actually, if you all communicate as a team and they understand why this person's coming in, looking at everyone's job description, and sometimes it's a good point within the recruitment process to look at your team that you've already got and understand what they're enjoying about their job and what they're not enjoying about their job. And is there other people in the team that prefer to have, you know, the parts of the job that that person doesn't like, and having a real review of it before somebody comes in, when it could be there's already tensions within the team. So looking at that as well.
You've mentioned a few really important points there, Becky, and I absolutely love them. And I think the first most important point that you have mentioned is we should be considering the psychological safety from when we're recruiting the person. They should be feeling safe from the beginning. And I know a lot of my clients that I talk to, they actually say, I felt safe in my first interview, which is brilliant. I also love the fact that you've mentioned the mental health first aiders, because I train teams of mental health first aiders, and it really upsets me when I go into organisations and they say, oh yeah, this is a tick the box exercise. We're just getting our mental health first aiders trained up, and that's it. I love working with clients who actually strategize their mental health first aiders. People know who they are. People go to them. They organise preventative measures. They organise awareness days, so they are seen as being active, because we should be preventing mental health concerns in the workplace, not reacting when people have got the concerns. But having that dialogue is so key. And this is all about prioritising psychological safety, and leaders need to prioritise it. So what other techniques can you actually give advice on, where leaders can strategise psychological safety to enhance that positivity in the work?
Definitely. And just going back to that point, when I've worked with companies that are, you know, thriving and growing and becoming multi-million-pound businesses, and they have mental health practitioners within their business, and have said to me how it's changed the way they think. You know, they weren't, that's just wasn't on their radar, but actually putting that in place has made their teams thrive, and it's helped the company in all, you know, become more profitable because people are working better. So yes, so sorry, going back to your question, things that they could do. It's like we say, nipping things in the bud, having that open dialogue with your staff, and allowing things that are, you know, having a day off for your birthday. You know, there's small things that you can do within a company that just creates a positive workplace. So, and I think team socials are really important as well. You know, we're all stuck at work, working and getting into that, you know, routine all the time, but just breaking the routine and saying, you know, let's have a month social, or even if it's every quarter, but not everyone can make it, but you know, the ones that can, and then they might be able to make it next time. It really helps. I think once you are in a workplace and you become friends within that work team, you respect each other more, you get to know each other on a different level, and I think socializing is a really important part of the workplace. Things like charity days. I work with a lot of companies where they have they do once a year, you have a day off to volunteer at a charity of your choice. And I think that really helps. Just getting out of the workplace and seeing something different, and something that you are passionate about that you can go and do.
I love this. Everything you're saying is motivating. You know, it makes you want to get up and go to work. And giving to a charity is so good for our mental health. Giving actually creates a positive environment and positivity for our mental health and wanting to go to work. Any
Yeah.
other tips
And I
before?
suppose on the flip side of going somewhere that might be really, in a bad situation, might make you think, like, actually, where I work's
Yeah,
not that bad.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh, Becky, you've given us so many tips. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wind up?
No, I think it's just, yeah, it's important. I think that, recruitment is a huge part of being a partner with a company, and you know, working with them as an extended, really, member of your staff, as a recruiter, to really get to know the company. And I think clients that I've worked with over the years, who I've stuck with, you get to learn their culture, you get to learn how they work, and it's much easier to place people within a company once you get to know them and understand all their quirks and all
Yeah.
the things that they have within a business. But yeah, it's all fun and games, isn't it, Claire?
It is, and it's also much easier to place somebody into a company where it's a company where they look after their people, they motivate their people feel psychologically safe, so they've got better staff retention. It's much
Oh, definitely.
easier.
I've worked with companies that have really poor staff retention,
Yeah.
and work with them to become a better employer.
Mm.
And sometimes it's not that they don't want to be a good
Yeah.
employer, or it's just that they don't know how, or
Yeah.
it's they're working so much in their business, on their business.
Yeah.
When you become a business owner, you realize that there's
Mm.
so much going on around your head.
I
There's
know.
so much to think about. And then when you put staff into the mix, you're also complicating it more with everybody else's, like, mental
Yeah.
health and everything that's going on, that actually sometimes it just needs to step back to someone else to look at it and go, oh, okay, it's overwhelming for me, for the employer, but actually once you look at it, there is some easy wins, and there's ways to get around it.
Definitely, definitely. I love all your points there, Becky. I feel motivated in just speaking to you. So I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there who feel motivated. So where can people actually find you and get in touch?
So my business is Beeline Recruitment. So we're based in Whitstable, and website's beelinerecruitment.co.uk. So yeah, if you want to get in touch, I'll be
Thank
happy to
you.
help.
Thank you so much for your wise words. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks, Claire. Thanks for your time.
Take care.